All right, there's going to be more people hopping on here in the next few minutes, but guys, welcome to tonight's team call. I am beyond pumped to have Robb talk to us tonight. Robb and I have been friends for a long time. I'm going to introduce him here in a minute, but since we're kind of like merging groups with this call, what we're going to start doing at the beginning of calls is kind of giving our coaches shout outs, recognition, helping like giving praise to people that are crushing it, doing really cool things, and just making sure that they feel loved and welcome and part of the team. So before I go through some of the recognition that I have, does anyone else have any love they want to give to their teammates or anything before we go diving in? Shayna, go for it, my friend.
Am I unmuted? I just want to introduce Danielle to the team, everybody. She is my newest coach. She literally signed up a freaking hour ago, and she's already here with us. She's going to crush it, and she should have her first 2 Success Club points on the board here very soon.
Machine! That is awesome.
Machine.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Who else has got some love they want to give tonight? Don't lie. You got some love you want to give. Anybody? I want to give.
Yeah, no, I'm not on the team, but I want to give you guys love just for being here. The fact that you're showing up is something that most people aren't doing. And the fact that you're here means that you're invested. So good for you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. I also have some love to give to Christine Chopek, who is either her mom is signing up as a coach. I don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow, but once her mom signs up, she will be a diamond coach. So big props to Christine Chopek for going diamond, whether that's tonight or tomorrow, officially next week. Either way, she's an amazing rock star. And she did it all while she's doing a 600-mile bike race with her dad in northern Wisconsin. So it's so cool. I love that commitment. It's just awesome. Anyone else before we introduce Mr. Robb, or I go through a couple announcements? Anyone else in love they want to give? Deanna for being awesome. I'm going to give love to Deanna for being awesome. I love Deanna. But
I love you right back.
What's that, dude?
I love you right back.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right. Before we get Robb on here, just want to make sure that you guys are obviously on Team Cup teams. Make sure you guys are meeting with your Team Cup teams. Make sure you guys are doing your little pods, your messages, hopping on Zoom calls and kind of pushing each other, helping each other. Because the ebbs and flows of this business, people are going to, sometimes go through lulls, sometimes be on highs. And I think being in Team Cup together as one unit, you can help each other grow and progress and challenge each other. And just remember, it's such an amazing opportunity for your business to grow and for you guys to come together as teammates. So just make sure you guys are doing a really good job of being on each other, not from like a, hey, did you get it done? Yeah, that obviously helps, but uplift and support and love and care. So just want to talk about that real quick. And then I didn't do a good job looking at announcements this week, so I'll just post those in the team page. But let me introduce Mr. Pearson. Robb and I have been friends for, I don't know, it's been like 3 years now. I think it's been 3 years. Robb and I met over in California when we were filming the 21-Day Fixed infomercial. Way back when the program was launching. I met him and his amazing wife, Chelsea, had the privilege of spending the weekend with them and got to know them. And they've just been incredible people ever since then, just getting to know them. And I wanted to bring Robb on the call with you guys tonight to talk about just some best practices on how him and Chelsea have together grown an amazing business. Robb is incredible at making things extremely simple to understand and working with new coaches, and he has a beautiful smile. And so to a little bit tell you about Robb and Chelsea combined have 5 business centers. Okay, they have 5 business centers. One of the coolest things when you get to 2-star diamond, you get to open up basically yourself in another business under you, which is so cool. So Robb and Chelsea have 5 business centers at 8-star, 4-star, 3-star, 1-star, and 1-star. They have stacked and stacked and stacked. They've really done a great job of helping people throughout the journey build their businesses and duplicating leaders. They're a member of the Million Club, which means they've earned over $1 million with the Beachbody coaching opportunity. Robb has lost over 100 pounds with Beachbody programs. Not sure if you've seen his transformation. It is incredible. I'll share it in the team page after this. And then one of the things I think is so cool about what Robb's done is he's coached 5 people that have gone on to become either daily, monthly, or quarterly Beachbody Challenge winners. So he's clearly invested in other people's health and wellness, not just building a business. It's truly incredible what this dude has done. So Robb, I want to turn it over to you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. We're incredibly grateful to have you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, and I appreciate the introduction. Guys, I just want to, I know Brad introduced me. I just want to kind of share a little bit about my story because I think it's so important whenever you're sharing it all. There are often times that someone will connect with you on something that you don't think is significant and you don't think is important. So like, I always like to lead off whenever I'm speaking on a call with my story, just because someone can grab onto something and you have the same power. Everything that Chelsea and I have done, everything that Brad has done is something that you can do. It's just a compound effect of decisions that you make over and over and over again. So I also think it's funny, and I took a note, take notes. If you have a pen and paper, please do so tonight. I actually wrote something down as Brad was talking. I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a good point. Sometimes I catch myself saying something that I don't remember. So I had to write it down, and this just struck me. So Brad said way back when, okay? I've been a coach for 5 years, and I'm going to get into my story a little bit more, but I've been a coach for 5 years. And so 3 years ago when the fix came out, for Brad is way back when, okay? And you are here now, and Shift Shop just came out. So like 2 or 3 years from now, if you keep showing up, you'll be like, oh, way back when the Shift Shop happened. And the cool thing is you're here now, and that gives you an edge. Chelsea and I always talk about how the best Beachbody coach, everyone will say, oh, Melanie Mitro is the best Beachbody coach. But like, I'm convinced that the best Beachbody coach, I mean, it may be one of you, but Chelsea and I always say like, the best coach probably hasn't even signed up yet. Plus, there are 16,000 people that turned 18 today. So there are 16,000 people that yesterday couldn't have been coaches and now can. So it's just like that perspective of being where you are. Like, forget about what's happened in the past. Just be where you are and see this unlimited potential that you have in this business moving forward. So when I started out, I was 330 pounds. I worked in a call center, and if any of you guys have worked in a call center or anything like that, every single day you walk in and there's donuts and pizza and cupcakes and cake and candy and everything just available to you as you walk in. So I was overweight before I started, but it even got worse at the call center because I just ate for sport almost. You know, like the thing that I always talk about is we would go to Wendy's. And they have like triple cheeseburgers at Wendy's. And we used to do the triple challenge, which that's not eating one triple cheeseburger. It's not 2 triple cheeseburgers. It's 3 triple cheeseburgers. And like that used to be the thing. And the last person who finished would have to pay for it. So like that's just where we were at. We ate for sport. We ate for like competition and just really, really bad habits. My whole family is, well, with the exception of my mom now, my whole family is and was overweight. So I grew up in that culture, and I never thought that there was anything wrong with that. I'm also 6'7". So my entire life, people just said, oh, you're proportionate, or, oh, like it was never an issue. No one ever told me that I had a problem. But I did because I just didn't eat healthy. So one of my friends, like, she was living in Vancouver, like West Coast Vancouver, and she saw an infomercial, and she sent me a text message at like 2 a.m. her time, which was like 5 a.m. my time. She's like, hey, I just saw this infomercial for Insanity. It looks so hard. I bet you couldn't do it. And I'm like one of those people, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. So at 330 pounds, I started going down to the basement, which is where like I had a TV and I didn't bother anybody. And I started doing Insanity. And I always laugh at this story because I don't know if you guys have ever done the Insanity fit test before. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. So essentially you get a minute to do 8 different moves. So you do whatever move for 1 minute, and then you get like a 30-second break, and then you do the next move. And you're supposed to do as many as possible. Now the 6th move that you do in the fit test is suicide jumps, which is essentially like a shortcutted burpee, right? And I did 3. I remember that to this day. I did 3 suicide jumps. And this is the thing. If you're not happy with where you are in your fitness, I guarantee you could do more than 3 in a minute. So I am where I am now. You can be, and you can surpass where I am. It's just a matter of, again, the compound effect of choosing to show up and make better decisions every single day. So I started with Insanity, and I met my wife, Chelsea, at a turbo kick instructor training because I knew there were going to be girls there. Like no shame. I knew there were going to be girls there. I knew they were going to be fit, and I wanted in. I walked in. I'm a 49ers fan. She was wearing a Giants jersey. It was after Kyle Williams muffed 2 punts in the NFC Championship game. So I was like so upset that this hot girl was wearing a Giants jacket, but we ended up hitting it off, and the rest is history, as they say. But so I did Insanity without a coach. You know how, like, when you get to Emerald and you hit Success Club and you get those free customer leads. I know Brad and I are like the same way. We were somebody's free customer that never reached out, and I did it all by myself. And I actually now know who the person was assigned to me, and I will never tell her because, like, I feel like that's salt in the wound, and I don't want to say that, but I've had conversations with her, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, always contact your leads because you never want to miss out. So always contact them, text them. I always, what I'll do is I send them a picture of myself on a text message and say, hey, I'm a real person. I just want to help you if you have goals. That's it. Super simple. So I didn't have a coach, and Chelsea's like, hey, you should do this coaching thing. And the infamous line, she always busts my chops when we do calls together, or when we made like a video, corporate made a video, and she did it to me there too. She's like, oh, he just said he didn't want to be a coach. He just wanted to help people out with Insanity. And it was the same thing. It's like, yeah, I know. So I didn't want to do it, but I said, you know what? I will be a coach because she had a goal to reach Emerald, and I wanted to help her reach that goal. And then the next goal that she had was to reach Diamond. Okay. So my goal at that point was to reach Emerald. So I needed 2 people to help. Okay. And we're going to go through the vital process in a minute. And this is always the foundation. This is why we built such a huge organization, because it's always been focused on helping the people that we bring in. So my mom is supportive of me. And like I said, my whole family was overweight, and now my mom's like super fit. She's 62, and she went skiing probably 30 days this winter, and she's just like a champion. So proud of her. And she does like Tai Chang and drinks Shakeology. It's awesome. But so she was like, I'll be supportive. I'll drink Shakeology. And then my roommate at the time was a retired Coast Guard. He was 34 years old. And like most people in this country, he was on medication that he was supposed to take for the rest of his life. Okay. So from 2012 to 2016, this is a crazy stat. You can write this down. From 2012 to 2016, obviously 2017 isn't complete, so I can't give updated numbers. 92% of prescriptions written were for medication that people were supposed to take for the rest of their life. Okay, that's a Band-Aid on people's health. So here's this pill, take it the rest of your life. So he was on cholesterol medication that he was supposed to take for the rest of his life. He drank Shakeology for 2 months. He did 1 round of Insanity with me. He went to his doctor, and the doctor took him off the medication. When that happened to me, when I saw that happen, because again, I'm the type of person who, if you say you can't do this, I'm going to prove you wrong. But in my head, once I saw that change in another person, I knew that this is what I was supposed to be doing with the rest of my life. That's why I am where I am now. That's why I will do these as often as I can, because there are 315 million people in the U.S. alone, never mind Canada, never mind across the pond where we're going this fall. Like, there are 315 million people in this country. And even the people who aren't overweight or obese, so 2 out of 3 are overweight or obese. That's 205 million people that are overweight and obese. Okay? I can't help 205 million people. My job and my goal is to do what I can to reach out to the people who are within my sphere and empower and equip people to help. Now, the average 25-year-old person knows 1,000 people. like within their circle, and you probably don't know, or you probably don't think this, but there are 1,000 people that you can help. And I guarantee you, no one on this call has helped 1,000 people. I've been doing this for 5 years and I haven't helped 1,000 people yet, right? So I just want you to kind of liberate yourself and remove the thought of there aren't enough people to help. If that's still something that you struggle with, there's personal development for that. Okay, there's whatever's wrong, whatever you doubt, there's always personal development. It's funny, Chelsea and I were just doing a photo shoot about an hour ago, and we had this idea. We have these 2 bookshelves that are covered in books, and the girl who's taking photos is like, oh, why don't you just throw all of your personal development books on the couch? We have this huge couch pit, which I'm obsessed with, but you can look on my social media if you want to see it. It's dope. So we start pulling these books off, and there are too many books. Like, I am so proud of our personal development library, because people will always ask, that's one of the things, and I'll stay on for questions when we're done. But one of the things that people always ask me is, what should I do for personal development? And I can't answer that question because it's so specific. So like, if you want a certain recommendation, and I challenge you to say this, don't read a book because everyone's reading it. Like, read the book because it's addressing a weakness that you're feeling or something that you really want to grow with. Okay, that's something that I've learned. This is my story. To sum all that up, this is my story, and what I want to talk to you guys about tonight is the vital process. You probably heard that phrase before, but when I heard it, you probably rolled your eyes and was like, "Oh, this is some new thing that corporate came out with." But once I really dug into it and I put it into my own words, I realized this is why we've been successful. This is why my wife and I have built a successful business. This is why, like, we kind of fly under the radar. Brad had said that my wife reached Million Club, and she actually achieved that before she ever hit Elite. And so it's one of those things where it kind of happened, and people were just like, "Whoa, who's this? Like, where's this name coming from when we haven't seen anything else?" And it's because of the way that we built our business. So what I want to tell, before I get into the vital process and before I get into rank versus income, which is really what I'm going to talk about tonight, I just want to caution you and say your goals are important. Everyone on this call has different goals. Some may be rank-based, some may be income-based, some may be weight loss-based, some people may be shooting for Premier or Elite or whatever. Whatever your goal is, it's fine. Like, what I'm saying to you may not resonate because that might not be your priority, but what I want to explain to you tonight is the way that we have built this and allow you to at least understand and make the choice of where you want to go. Like, I've learned in 5 years of doing this that the way you phrase things is so, so important. And my wife and I made the mistake of, when we started this, using the phrase, rank doesn't matter. We said that, and here's the thing, I regret it every single day, because all that happened was every person who had a rank goal felt discouraged because we were saying that your goals doesn't matter. And that hurts, right? It's like one of those things where you start losing weight and someone says, "Why don't you go eat a cheeseburger?" That hurts because you're working hard. So just be very careful when you're working with your coaches in the future, or when you're working towards a goal, always use a positive mindset toward it. Because as soon as you start having any sort of weird negative thoughts, you're done. The goal's not going to happen. You have to keep that positive mindset. Okay. So I want to talk about the vital process, and again, like, if you look up corporate's version, it's not going to sound like this because it's my phrasing, but I like it because it aligns with my wife and myself. One of the other things that Brad had said is I have 5 people who have won Beachbody Challenge. To me, that's what this company is about. This company is about giving people second chances and allowing people to transform at home. Now with Beachbody On Demand, you don't have to do it at home. You can do it out in the field. You can do it on the free. Don't do it on the freeway. You can do it on the freeway. You can do it in a gym. You can do it anywhere, which is awesome, right? But this is the foundation of what we do. So this is what the vital process says to me. Step 1. And if you're not writing this down, please write this down. Like, these 4 steps are what can build you $1 million business. And when I say $1 million business, I mean it. It's cool because I used to look at coaches like Janelle Summers and Lindsay Matway and Christine Dwyer and say, "Oh, of course they did it because they're that person." But like, This is so simple. And if you do this enough, you will surpass $1 million in income with this company. It's amazing. So number one, get results. I'm going to let that in for just a second. That means you show up and you get results. You make the hard choice to drink Shakeology instead of a beer, right? You make the hard choice to follow the containers instead of trying to figure out what way you can sneak things into the containers. Just follow them for a week, for 3 weeks, for whatever amount the program is, because if you've ever stuck to one of the programs, you know it works. And if you get results, here's what's going to happen. You're going to see a change in yourself. You're going to create trust in the products and in this company. Okay? You will also create belief. You will believe in your ability to do things, to achieve things, to complete things. And your belief in Shakeology and in the products that this company offers, you will grow your belief in those things. And you will develop passion. Okay? The moment I got on the call and I saw Brad and I listened to Brad, there's excitement in his voice. And I guarantee you that excitement wasn't in his voice before he was a Beachbody coach. And I know he's an outgoing guy, and I know that I didn't know him before he was a Beachbody coach, and I'm sure he was friendly, but there's that difference. And I'm sure that, and I don't have any ego whatsoever, but I'm sure that at least one of you are sitting there being like, man, Robb is so energetic, and I can tell he's passionate about what he's talking about. And that's not something that I've practiced and rehearsed. It's just something that I have because this has changed my life. And the reason why it changed my life is because I got results. Okay, so that's step one, get results. You're going to laugh at me when I tell you the second one. And again, if you read Corporate's Vital Process, it's not going to sound like this, but this is what it is. Step number 2, help others get results. It's so easy. It's so easy because you already trust that the programs work. You have belief in those programs and you're passionate about what you do, right? So you already have that. So now all you have to do is have conversations, excuse me. I'm getting like excited that I don't even know my tenses. You have conversations with some of those 1,000 people that I know are in your life. It's just some of them. And all you really have to do is get one person to say, yeah, I'll try that. Okay? Help others get results. And then it's just a conversation. So you find out what someone's goals are. You match them up with one of 70 programs that are available on Beachbody On Demand. And like the food guide is there. So like you say, here it is. Click this button on Beachbody On Demand. You can see exactly what you're supposed to eat. Click this button on Beachbody On Demand. You know exactly what the workout calendar is. You know, and if you want to get crazy with it. So right now I'm working out with my neighbor 2 doors down. So my wife and I just moved to Mooresville, North Carolina, like 3 months ago. And so my neighbor 2 doors down has 100 pounds to lose. And he's down 24 since we started working out. We started doing Body Bees, I want to say 6 weeks ago. He's down 24 pounds and just killing it. So it's awesome that we're right there. But Zoom is free, guys. Like if you need someone to hold you accountable, like you should be doing workouts on Zoom every single day. Because that way no one has an excuse. And there's no, did you do your workout or not? Because it's right here. Like use that tool that's there. So you help others get results. So then what happens is Jim is my neighbor. So I'm just going to say Jim. So Jim, and again, so we started working out 3 months ago, not 3 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, excuse me. After 2 weeks, he was all in on Shakeology because he started to lose the weight, started to feel good. And what happens is he started to get results. He started trusting me. So I created that trust in him, okay? He started believing in the products and the programs because he was doing them and they were working. And guess what happened? now he is passionate. He works at the church that Chelsea and I attend. Well, he volunteers at the church that Chelsea and I attend. And like, he glows. He's a completely different person. And like, all of his clothes are loose fitting now. And I told him to go to Marshall's instead of buying new clothes because he's going to have to get another set of new clothes because he's going to lose even more weight. But he's like excited and passionate about what he's doing. So I said, hey man, people are asking you about this. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? Have you ever considered being a coach? He said, I've never considered being a coach. I've just been, I'm so used to just being 100 pounds overweight. I never considered that. And then I say, here's why you should. Because it's so easy. You get results, and then you find other people and help them get results. So he said, yes. Okay. So that's step number 2, help others get results. And again, you're helping them create trust. You're creating belief, and that person is becoming passionate. And this is cool. All right, so step number 3. And again, I know I keep saying this over and over again, but like if you read Beachbody's, it doesn't sound like this, but this is exactly what it is. So step 3, help others, help others. Simple, right? Like this is like, I hope brains are exploding with how silly and simple this is. This is, I mean, you could start as a coach today and do, and that's, who is Danielle? Danielle, I'm so glad you're here. You're a brand new coach today. You can start doing this right now. You can start doing this right now. It's cool because almost everyone in the world are starting their next challenge group on the 7th. You can do this right now because you have trust and belief in these programs. I can see in your face and your smile that you're passionate about doing this. Like, it's so simple. It's so simple. And Danielle started today, and I don't know, there could be someone on here. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone's been a coach for more than me, because if you're on Brad's team, that math doesn't work that way. But like we have coaches who have sat as coaches for 4 years or for 5 years and never done anything. And then one day just decided, hey, I want to help somebody. And then they just take off and run because it's this simple. But you have to allow yourself to let it be this simple. Okay? So step 3 again is help others, help others. So it may, if you run a challenge group through the Challenge Tracker app, it may just be like, hey, new coach who has people who want to be in a challenge group, I will set up the group. I will run the group. I just want you in there watching what I do and being the best cheerleader you can be. I want you commenting on every single person's post so that they feel love and they feel seen. You know, as soon as I got on this call tonight, I know that Brad cares and loves about you guys, just because it's like, hey, share the love. Just say something positive, say something good. Tell us who you want to love on, right? So you can do that because that's what coaching is. Coaching is connecting someone with the right program and then giving them accountability. So it's so easy to help others help others. Okay? And then there's no step 4 in the vital process as far as Beachbody goes. Again, sorry, I want to recap. So step 3 is help others help others. Okay? So again, I'm going to go back one more time and just repeat these 3 so we have it. So get results for you. Create trust, belief, and passion. Number 2, help others get results. Create trust, belief, and passion. Help others help others. If you do that over and over and over again, you win. You win. That's it. You win the game. You help people, and then you help people help other people. And then the next thing you know, I checked before the call because I wanted to be thorough. Chelsea and I have 8,016 coaches in our organization after 5 years. That crazy explosive growth happens because we focus on getting results, helping others get results, and helping others help others. That's it. Okay? The one note that I want to add into the vital process, because I know what you're saying is this all sounds good, but I'm afraid to invite people. Like, I'm struggling to invite people. It's the thing that's the hardest. So the vital behaviors are invite. There are 4 now. Invite, be a product of the product, personal development, and recognition. Most people struggle with inviting the most, and I tell you, the best way to get better at inviting is get better at getting results. Like, there is no denying, like, when I am on my game, I'm sure Brad Brad knows, we've talked about this. So what happens sometimes is you fluctuate, right? And I guarantee you that he would confirm coaching is so much easier when you are on your fitness game. Because like the second, if I gain like 5 pounds, it hits here first, right? And then people will see this, and then less people are impressed and less people are interested because I'm not being a product of the product. So if you're struggling with inviting, get better at getting results. Dial in for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, guys. Like, if you're going to live 80 years, that's like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of your life. You can do it for 21 days and just prove to people what it can do. And you're going to feel better anyway. You know, if you've ever completed a program, you know that you feel better at the end of it. And then for whatever reason, we eat like a whole pizza and then feel like garbage. I don't know why we get into that habit. So don't get into that habit. Hold yourself more accountable. Thanks for doing the math, Brad. I appreciate it. Cool. So that's the vital process in my mindset. That's the way that I look at it. So now I want to get into income versus rank, because I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with. I'm going to do my best to keep it, as Brad said at the beginning, very simple. Okay. The first thing in my notes, I have notes over here because, like I said, smart people take notes. And if I say something that I want to remember, I have to type it in. And I also don't want to get lost. But I want to just share a couple of ideas. And then I'm going to tell you something that, like, I'm a math guy. And when I saw this 4.5 years ago, actually, I'm going to tell a quick story first. Okay. I'm going to tell a quick story before I get here. And Brad, like, if I'm running out of time, just be like, slow down. Okay. So when Chelsea and I started dating, she was working at a company. Ironically enough, she was working at Avon. She wasn't a rep at Avon. She was doing like web releases. So she was on like the IT side at Avon. And I was working at Bank of America doing pretty much crunching numbers, creating Excel spreadsheets and junk like that. So when she left her job, we were making probably half with Beachbody as we were with our corporate salaries. And I'm not telling anyone to do that. And I feel like I need to state, before I get into this, I need to state the disclosure, just because it's recording and just because, who knows, I feel like Jonathan Gelfand could hack any computer. So like, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or any level of income. Each coach's success is, how sad is that I haven't memorized? Each coach's level of success is based on their own skill and work ethic. But so we had half the amount of money, or we were making half the amount of money with Beachbody as we were with our corporate jobs. But when I saw the potential of income and the potential of what we could do if we helped enough people, I said, us being at our jobs, being not happy, because I don't think there's anyone who loves building Excel spreadsheets. And I don't know if anyone likes working 16-hour shifts talking to people in India. And that's not a hateful comment. She was speaking to people who were in India who didn't speak English, trying to coordinate web issues. No one enjoys that. And we said, okay, if we can pursue our passion, like, we can make this work. Okay. So when I saw the potential of this, we had to go for it. And I'm going to go into that and tell you why. So first thing, full disclosure, income versus rank. Okay. Both are important. I always have to start out that way because I made the mistake when I was younger, when I was newer as a Beachbody coach. We made the mistake to say, oh, don't worry about rank. Rank doesn't matter, because rank matters. Okay. It's an awesome thing to work for. I think it's a great piece of recognition. But both are important. So what I want you to start thinking of is rank. The way I define rank is income potential. Okay. Rank is income potential. Now, if you forget this, you can put a little note if you don't want to write this all down. This is in the compensation plan. It will tell you there's a cap for every rank. So there's a cap in how much money you can make in team cycle bonus. Emerald is $250 a week. Ruby is $1,000 a week. Diamond is $2,000 a week. 1 star is $3,000 a week, and on and on and on and on and on. Okay, all the numbers are in the compensation plan. You could probably just Google it, fact it, whatever. Hashtag fact that. That's what I tell my coaches. So rank is income potential. Okay, volume is actual income. Okay. So what I will tell you is, of the, my wife has made her way into the Millionaire Club, and I am working on doing it myself as well. I'm hoping to do it before Summit next year, but we'll see how it goes. I got big goals. I'm gonna work hard because that's how we roll. So volume is actual income, and I will tell you, 99% of our paycheck every single week is from team cycle bonus and matching bonus. We are not selling 300 bags of Shakeology. Like we thought that before I figured this stuff out. I was like, man, if we want to make any sort of money in this, if we want to make 6 figures, we're gonna have to sell like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bags of Shakeology, and I can't help that many people. The staying power in this and the residual income in this is in team cycle bonus. Okay. Here's the magic. This is why I went on this huge rant about the vital process. Okay. The reason why the vital process is so important is it sets people up to be lifers. It sets people up because, again, if you have someone who believes in Beachbody, who the phrase that we use is who bleed Beachbody blue. Okay. People who, no matter what other MLM comes up and tells you how nice things are over there, like this has staying power. And the thing that's so cool, this company is so young. We have so much growth to do. Like it's so crazy to me. And like how untapped the market is. We haven't even hit 1% of the US population. And people are, I hear people complain about how there aren't enough people to help. It's like, we haven't touched anybody. We haven't even scratched the surface. There's so much potential that's there. And you guys are on this call because you know how good Shakeology is and you don't ever want to stop drinking it. So the reason why is because you felt that. You've gotten results, okay? If you've committed as a coach, then you've helped other people get results too. What that's going to create is more and more and more people who are using the products, which is volume, and who are also sharing the product with other people, which is volume. Okay? So there are what I don't want to go and explain Team Cycle Bonus to you because there are YouTube videos for that. So if you're not certain about Team Cycle Bonus, just put a little note and say YouTube, how to make Team Cycle Bonus. If you like little toys and Michael Neiman and his showmanship, you can watch his, or you can watch Scotty Hobbs. Those are like the two that I usually will recommend to people because one's a little bit more fun and funny, and then Scotty's just like, this is how it all works. So this is where the staying power is, okay? Now, the beauty of this business, this is so cool. This was the moment that I had, the aha moment that I had is everybody on here has one business center, okay? Brad said at the beginning of the call that my wife and I have 5. We're working in the next 6 weeks, that 5 should turn to 7 because we have our 2 business centers that are at 1 star are both like right on the edge, like one coach for one coach, and we get to 2 star. The coolest thing about this company is when you reach 2 star, you have the opportunity to open up what's called a second business center, or 3rd, or 4th, or all the way to 25 business centers, which is it's so cool. And so Chelsea and I are just like racing. We're racing each other. Right now she has 3 and I have 2. I'm fighting to get to have my 3rd before she gets to my 4th because she'll bust my chops about that. But every time that you open up another business center, you essentially get to recreate yourself as a coach. And you get to place yourself on your weak leg. which is cool. I'm going to try to explain this slowly and simply. And some of you guys may get confused. And what I will ask, Brad is recording this. If this makes your eyes gloss over, then here's what I'm going to tell you. Wait until you get to diamond. And again, put this in your notes. Wait until you get to diamond, or you can put it in your phone. I use something called Wunderlist for reminders and stuff. And remind yourself to ask Brad for this call when you get to diamond, because if this doesn't resonate with you right now, it will once you're there, okay? So the way that we have this set up and what you can do with the Second Business Center is right now, when you sell a bag of Shakeology, you make $32.49, okay? It's 25% commission. Now, the other cool thing with Team Cycle Bonus, every time that you make a cycle, if you're a diamond coach, you make $18 per cycle, okay? So this is the way that my wife and I have this set up. So she was here, and then I'm on her inside leg. Now, what happens is every time we sell a bag of Shakeology through me, because I'm on her weak leg, I make $32.49 for that bag of Shakeology, and then she makes an $18 cycle, okay? Because we're stacked that way. That's why we always recommend if someone signs up their spouse that they put their spouse on the weak leg, because you have the opportunity to build through there, okay? So now instead of making $32.49 when we sell a bag of Shakeology, we now make $50.49. Which is pretty cool. I mean, I'll take it. It's cool, right? So now the other cool thing, so now we're here and here. So now when Chelsea got to 2-star, she placed her Second Business Center on the weak leg of my business center. All right? Stay with me. This is so cool. So now, whenever we sell a bag of Shakeology, we sell it through her Second Business Center. So she makes $32.49. I make an $18 cycle. She makes an $18 cycle. Plus, they're just giving away money. I love it. Plus, when you're a diamond coach, you get to make a 10% matching bonus. Okay? So she also makes $1.80 off of my cycle. So now, when we sell it through her Second Business Center, we make $70.29 when we sell a bag of Shakeology. Okay? I'm going to take this one more step, and it'll get crazy. It'll get super, super crazy, and then you start saying, like, how is that even possible? But that's the brilliance of working hard and getting to 2-star over and over and over again. So anyone here, actually, let me see by a show of hands. Anyone here is your goal to get to diamond? Cool. Everyone raising your hand, I want you to change that to 2-star. Like in your head right now. And you will get to diamond along the way, but that needs to be where your focus is and where your target is. Because when you get to 2-star, that's when you go from doing this to like building a freaking monster business. Okay? So set your sights there, and I guarantee you, you will get to diamond quicker. You will help more people in the process. Plus, the thing that's so beautiful about this is you make more money for doing the same work. You're helping the same people, and that's the thing that I always tell myself is like when I have these money conversations, I don't worry about it anymore. When I first started talking about it, I was always worried about people saying like, "Oh, all he cares about is money." And it's like, no, I want like the lifestyle that we live. I want this for all the people that I care about. I want. Carl once said, I think it was we were at a Super Saturday in Miami, I think a year and a half ago, and he's like, my vision is for the term Beachbody coach to be no different than a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a teacher. Like it's a profession, right? And we can do that because this is insane. So again, now I'm going to complete this, and then I'm going to throw a number that's going to blow your mind. Okay. And Brad, I saw you asked a question. I'll go through the chat when we're done with all this. So now my Second Business Center, I placed on the inside of Chelsea's Business Center. So now $32.49, 18 with $1.80 matching, 18 with $1.80 matching. So that's $90.09 when we sell a bag of Shakeology. Now everyone starts to say like, oh, well, how does it costs less money than that for a bag of Shakeology. How's the company profitable? It's profitable because 9 out of 10 coaches do not work their business. That's the other thing that blows my mind. So there's about 400,000 coaches in the network. 9 out of 10 of them never even become an Emerald coach. So there's literally millions of volume that's just never touched. And that volume signifies money that the company is making and products that the company is selling. So like it is so balanced. Corporate, well, I don't want to get too technical. Corporate pays out 35% of their earnings, and we've never gotten anywhere close to that as far as how much we're making. So like it's so far away, and it's really cool because this is why the compensation is built out this way, and this is why there's 25. Now, this is super fun. I said this before, everyone can build 25 business centers. And like 2 years ago, Chelsea and I said, our goal is to win the compensation plan. Like people are going to be 15-star diamond, and that's good for them. People are going to be elite coaches, and that's good for them. We're going to win the compensation plan. We're going to be the first couple to have 25 business centers each, because that way we can honor our family. That way we can tithe way too much to our church. That way we can give freely to missions trip and anything that we want to. And when we have kids, we don't have kids yet, and God willing, we will at some point. We never want our kids to want. We want to be able to make the decision whether we say no or yes. That's something that we've always wanted, that we've aligned on. And this, like, even if you already have kids, that's something that you can work towards. You can, like, in the next few years, you can work towards having that freedom to never have to say no. And I will give you permission. Please, like, say no. Say no when you need to, because I know you just can't give and give and give to your kids, or they'll take advantage of you. But you can have that freedom and that ability to choose when you say yes or no. Okay. So this is crazy. 25 business centers each coach can earn if you go 2-star, 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 2-star. And in the caps, as far as I told you that there's a cap for every rank. Each business center can earn up to a potential of $12,000 a week in team cycle bonus. Okay. You're ready to have your mind freaking exploded? So if you work your way, and again, this is a new company. You guys are all new coaches, and like, I'm going to do this until I'm 99. So we will get there before this happens. But if you get to that point, $12,000 a week in 25 business centers, that's $300,000 a week. That's Tom Brady money. No lie, because I'll tell you, I did the math. It's $15,600,000 a year. Literally, I hate when people misuse literally. That is literally Tom Brady money. No exaggeration. It is figuratively, I don't know, it's figuratively Bill Gates money. We'll say it that way. Bill Gates has more money than, he couldn't even burn all of his money. So that's, oh yeah. So again, our goal is that Chelsea wants to do that too. And we'll get there. And it's time, and it's trust, and it's patience. But again, I have to come back to the fact that it's about vital process, because all of these people, if they are not getting results, if they do not have belief in themselves and belief in the company, if they do not trust this process, and if they do not have passion, it will not grow. So it all comes back to the vital process. It has to be the root and the foundation of what you're doing, because it will translate to income. It will translate to rank. I said before, Chelsea made millionaire before she made it to elite. So like the last 2 years, she became an elite coach, and it happened just because enough people had gotten results and helped enough people get results. And it was nothing that we ever forced. And I think working toward those goals are awesome. But if you do focus on those foundations and you really hone in on the results and empowering people, you will achieve so much more than the rank that you think is important, so much more than the accolade that you think is important, and even so much more than the income that you think is important. You know, like that, this is, our catchphrase is, we do fitness first. Because I think a lot, like the reason why a lot of people left when other MLMs kind of started popping up was because there wasn't that connection to the product. There were a lot of people who were in this company to make money. And again, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that at all, but if you're bleeding Beachbody blue, it's because you're obsessed with health and fitness. Dang it, Brad. Because you're obsessed with health and fitness, you're obsessed with helping other people, and you don't want to go away. This is what will create a huge, massive, awesome, life-changing income for you and for your family. So I think that's what I've got. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
Well, I'm obsessed with this call. Like, dude, is anyone else's mind blown right now? Like, just seeing I'm obsessed with Robb. I love it, Shana. But like, is anyone else's mind blown by the potential here? Like, and think about what you can contribute to beyond just earning an income. Think about whose life you can change with that, right? Like Adrian, right? You want to retire your dad. Like, imagine what that can do. You know, Laura, like, you want to stay home from your job and give your family in Denver. Like, there's so many things that you can do with that. It's not just about the money. It's about how it changes other people's lives and what you can contribute. I love that. And I love that you talked about how it always starts within you, right? Like, if you struggle with inviting, then get better at getting results. That like really hit home for me, because how many of you guys, when you follow a nutrition plan, you do the 70-30 BS, right? Where you don't really container it, you eyeball it, and then you have a cheat meal every 3 days. Guilty, right? Guilty. And I kind of made a decision recently to be obsessed with using just the right amounts of food. And I'm feeling a difference already, right? How many times have you guys felt different when you've used the containers and actually followed a program? You feel so much different than when you follow it 70-30. And so, like, from personal experience, you know that what Robb is saying is accurate. The passion belief just comes through you. You can't help but invite people because you feel so good. Now, how many of you guys have ever felt like crap and you don't feel like inviting that day? Right? Because your energy is low, you feel bloated, kind of want to just watch TV, right? That can go away if you start with step one, get results. So, Robb, amazing call, brother. Do you have time for questions from these guys?
Yes. So, I did the math that you had asked in the chat. If it's 5, it's $109.89. And essentially the way you can figure it out is when you zigzag it like that, you're making an additional $18 for the cycle, and you're making an additional $1.80 for the matching bonus.
So think about that, guys. 5 business centers. When Robb and Chelsea sell a bag of Shakeology, they earn more than they spend on Shakeology.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. It's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's the power of this business.
Yeah.
So questions, guys. What questions do you have for Robb? Amazing opportunity here to ask someone incredibly successful and humble and just an incredible dude some awesome questions.
Thank you.
Don't be shy.
Hey, Robb, just to clarify, you don't have to hit Success Club in each business center, right? Just one?
Oh, so this is so cool. So what happens when you open additional business centers, the Success Club points all roll up to your first business center. So what we do right now is, for me, I put all of my customers and coaches in my second business center. So all of those points roll up to my first, and Chelsea will put all of them in her third because it all rolls up. And again, based on that structure, you always want to be putting new customers and new coaches at the lowest business center. Cool.
Good question, Adrian. Anyone else have questions for Robb? And sorry, I'm looking on the second page if anyone's got their hand up or anything. You guys can just unmute yourselves. Laura's got one. Go for
it. Do you ever run into issues with your strong leg on any of those business centers? Do you ever run into an issue where you don't have enough to cycle, like your weak leg becomes your strong leg? Does that happen to you at all?
Yeah, it does. Because I mean, and this is the funny thing. So long ago, I used to think like, have you guys ever signed up a coach and been like, oh, this person's going to be so awesome. And then they just like go inactive and disappear, right? It happens. And then you have that discount coach who's like, oh my gosh. And I could never hear that phrase again and be happy, but you have this person who's a discount coach. And then all of a sudden they're like, so I just went to my friend's bridal shower and all 30 people that went want to join a challenge group. And like, you know what I mean? So like that type of thing happens and you try to play strategically. So I think that's the thing is if and when that happens, you just have to shift which leg you're placing on in those additional business centers.
Okay. So occasionally you have to go to that middle business center or something and add people.
Well, no, usually we won't do that because if you think about it, even if it outweighs, you're still getting that additional volume that's in there. Going lower is still it's either going to give you an additional matching bonus or an additional cycle.
Okay, I see. Thanks.
Cool, you got it.
Rob, what if you're split 50-50, like with your volume?
Oh my gosh. So this is beautiful, okay? Dispel the myth that you're supposed to be 2-to-1. I've done the math 100 times. As long as you are within 2-to-1, you're safe. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people have is
Rob, just to cut you off real quick. Sorry to interrupt. But guys, what he means by 2-to-1 is to earn a cycle bonus. He's referring to the $200 on one leg to $100 on the other leg that you'll learn about when you go through and
watch a YouTube video.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no, totally cool. So people have this myth that like you have to be exactly 2-to-1 or as close as possible. Now, the thing that's cool is team cycle bonus. I like to think like in math phrases, you know how interest is compounded daily and then credited monthly? So team cycle bonus is actually done daily and then credited weekly. So the beautiful thing is that if within the week or within the day, you have more on your left and then, or what's the best way to explain this? Let's say you have 1,000 volume on your left and 800 volume on your right, okay? The first cycle, they're going to take 200 from your left and 100 from your right. That's going to leave you at 800 and 700, okay? Then again, they're going to take 200 from the left and 100 from the right. That's going to leave you at 600 and 600. So now what happens? Beachbody will actually automatically pull from whichever leg has more. So as long as it's 1-to-1 or somewhere between 1-to-1 and 2-to-1, you'll always make the most amount that you can. Like, and here's the thing is a lot of people may have something called rollover volume. And for me, like having it's one of those things like if you have it, then awesome. You get like, it makes it a little bit easier to cycle. But if you don't have it, you don't want to create it because all it is, like I said before, rank is income potential and volume is actual income. And if you have rollover volume, that's just volume that won't pay you until next week. So we always try to keep it, as was said before, 50-50. We always try to build and balance it out so that it's dead on. And so again, sometimes right now in Chelsea's Business Center, what was once her weak leg is now more than twice of what was her strong leg. And that's in her first business center, the business center that we've had for 6 years. So it's like there's been a ton of growth that's in there, which is a really great problem to have. But you always kind of want to do what you can to keep it, again, at 1-to-1 or somewhere between there and 2-to-1.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. That helps a lot.
Sure.
Anyone else, guys?
I have a question. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jenny. So I have a second business center already. And when I set it up, I didn't know that I could have it underneath my husband's weak leg. So it's actually like rolls up under his, the outside of his leg and my leg. I guess my question is, do you know, since you seem to understand this better than most people that I talk to, am I losing a lot of money because of that? Just thinking forward to when I set up future business centers.
So what I would say is don't worry about what you are or aren't losing. The way things are the way things are. But what I would say is moving forward, you always want to place it on the inside of the lowest business center that you have.
Of the lowest?
The lowest business center that you have.
Lowest, like my next one should go underneath my second CBC.
Correct.
On the inside leg.
On the inside leg of that business center. Yep.
Okay.
And then when I'm putting it this way, when your husband's second business center does that, you'll be able to place it because it's on the same leg. You'll be able to place it on the inside of.
Definitely put it on his inside. Yeah. Okay.
You'll miss out on one. So if you're making 20, if you're hitting 24 instead of 25, I think you'll be all right at that point.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Great call.
Thank you.
Just under 15 million.
Right. So close.
Anyone have any other questions, guys? Bueller? Anyone else's mind's blown? I have a challenge for us real quick. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I saw Justin made a comment and man, dude, I'm glad you're there. Like I have this analogy that I use, and I always laugh at myself because it's super cheesy, but it's like brushing your teeth. And I think what ends up happening is when we try to become entrepreneurs, sometimes we get too focused on being an entrepreneur and then we feel stuck. We're like, I can't go back and work on my fitness because I did X, Y, and Z and all this stuff is going to happen. But like anytime that I haven't done anything for a while or anytime that I have to shift back to it, I always say to myself like, okay, so I woke up this morning and I didn't brush my teeth. Am I going to allow the fact that I didn't brush my teeth this morning to not brush my teeth tomorrow? And like, if I say like, oh, I can't do that. I have all these other things going on. It's like, no, I'm going to make that a priority because that matters. And I will tell you, I guarantee you that as you show up and as you start to change and you start to feel better, everyone is going to follow in your footsteps. The best way that you can lead your team is by setting the example and holding yourself to a higher standard. So crush it.
Mic drop on that one, Mr. Rob. I think Jennifer, you had a question? Sorry, I muted you. Nope, you're good. Nope, now you're muted. There we go. Go for it, Jennifer.
No, I'm good. I was just raising my hand to say I was mind blown.
Oh, cool. Good.
Blown mind.
Brad, I had a question.
Sure.
So what's your best tip on helping our challengers get results?
Setting higher expectations.
Totally agreed.
Always. Setting higher expectations. So like, I was in the Shift Shop Challenge group.
So was I.
I know that you know that. I'm providing context. I'm providing context to everyone else. So Rebecca probably see my post where I'm just like, okay, so here's the thing. I don't agree with the 80-20 lifestyle, but again, like if people do, but I know like if you give 80% effort, you're going to get 80% results. Okay. And I'm not cool with a B- body. I'm not. I also did math. Again, I'm a math person. So the average person, if they eat 4 meals a day, a lot of people eat 5, but if you eat 4 meals a day, that's 28 meals over the week. And if you eat crap 20% of the time, that's 5.6 cheat meals that you make every week. That's insane. That's nuts. And I think that's why so many people struggle, because they're coming in with the mentality. Again, like we have to remember, we're Beachbody coaches now. So we look at things differently, but we so often forget where we came from. Like I drank soda every day. And that's the thing, is like every once in a while I'll see a challenger who says, oh, well, I didn't do too bad today. I only had 2 sodas, right? And to me, I'm just like, whoa, what happened? But like we have to remember, this is an adjustment that people are making, and that's a conversation that we have to make. So I think setting clear expectations, write this down. Conflict arises when expectations don't meet reality. And if you do not set expectations, conflict will be your reality. I just made that second half up, just like that. I'm going to write that down.
Rob, what was that stat again? Four cheat meals or 4 meals a day?
Yeah, if you eat 4 meals a day, that's 28 meals over the week. And if you're eating 80-20, then that's 5.6 cheat meals a week. And I think that's why so many people aren't successful, is because they think like, oh, that's what 80-20 is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah.
I just have to say that blew my mind when you posted that in the group during the test group. That is exactly what changed everything for me.
Cool. That's so good. And again, I just think it's like, first of all, holding yourself to a higher standard, and then setting a higher expectation for everyone. So the other analogy that people give all the time is like, I don't know if you guys have ever been at one of the filmings for a workout video, but like, it's so funny because when they squat so low. And when they jump so high. And it doesn't look like it on video, but they have to. Like, they have to over-exaggerate it. And the reason why is because the average person is going to put in 50% of the person they're following, right? So if you show up and you say, hey, you can do 80-20, they're probably going to do 60-40. But again, if you show up and you say, hey, here are the expectations, you need to be on the performance line. And you know what's so cool about this? Someone can try out the performance line for free and then send the whole freaking thing back at the end of the program if they don't like it. People forget that. Everyone always remembers the return policy for Shakeology, but like, what better way? I'm sure almost everyone's doing shift shop challenge groups right now, but what better way to say like, hey, why don't you try the supplement line risk-free? Because if after 3 weeks you're not obsessed with it, and I guarantee you, they will either love Energize or Hydrate or Recover. They will. I drink it every day. I drink Recover even on days that I don't work out. Don't tell anybody, but I do it because I love it. And that's the thing, is like, give people the opportunity to go all in. Like if you hold them to a higher standard, and that's what you're saying, like, hey, you're going to drink Shakeology every day. You're going to follow the performance supplements. You're going to do the workouts as is. You're going to do the stretches. That's the other thing that kills me. When people don't do the stretch. But you have to set that expectation, because you're like, if you don't, someone's going to say, oh, the workout's done. And they say that almost every workout. The workout is done. And then they exhale. And then after like 15 seconds, it's like, all right, let's stretch. And it's like, no, like the workout's not done. But again, it's a matter of setting those higher expectations for yourself and for your challengers. Rebecca, sorry for being so long-winded. I'm clearly passionate about this subject.
Rob, I know we're over time. Is it cool if we take a couple more real quick?
Yeah.
Justin, go for it, dude.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, I got one question for you, buddy. First of all, thank you so much for tonight, man. Incredible. So when we opened our second business center, it was actually kind of at the very beginning of our business. Yep. And so we were actually talking to Jessica Vanderberg, who actually asked Keith Callahan, and he's like, no, based on your volume, you should actually, instead of opening it under my account, I'm under her, instead of opening it under mine, actually open it on the opposite leg. So now there's my account and the second business center under her opposite legs. So my question is, now if we were to, once that second business center hits 2-star, which it has actually a decent potential of, where would you say opening the third business center for that one? Do you put it under hers, or it's a place that you have to see the volume on?
So what I would do is I would, and this is the hardest question to answer, because just like I said, this could change. Even if you do it in 2 weeks, you could have someone come in and completely blow up one of the sides before it happens. So that's the hard thing. What I always do, and Chelsea always gets mad at me when we have this conversation because she wants to know where the next one's going to go. When you get there, what I would do is say, okay, how much money are we going to make with a bag of Shakeology if we put it here? How much money are we going to make with a bag of Shakeology if we put it there? And then put it wherever the greatest income potential is. And if you always follow that plan, you will always be putting it in the best spot.
Perfect.
Cool.
Love it.
You got it, man.
Well, Rob, thank you so much for your time tonight. I know we're over time, guys. Thank you for staying on here. And Rob, I know everyone here is incredibly grateful for you and everything you share with us. I think it not only put things in perspective that our results need to come first, and we need to come lead with a servant's heart with this, trying to help other people, but really expanding our vision of what's possible and how it can contribute to more than just, a couple bucks here and there, but really change your entire financial future. And I think that was just mind blowing, dude. So I'm obsessed with this call, just obsessed with everything you said. And we're very grateful for you. So thank you so much for your time tonight, man. Really appreciate it.
Cool, of course. And I don't mean to cut back off. I just saw a question that I didn't answer. Laura. And again, hey, Laura, so happy that you're here. Yes, I do. And here's the thing I think is super important. If someone does not go 100%, I give grace. I love on everyone. And it's almost like when someone doesn't hit it, if someone does fall off, that is where we as coaches get to do our greatest work, because it's in those moments of failure or struggle that we get to build up that belief in someone. And again, it just goes back to saying, like, why did this happen? Like, what was the struggle and how can you overcome it? That's like one of the best teachable moments. And I think that's the other reason why the expectation that I set is 100%. Because like, if someone does that, results, right? And then if someone falls short of that, then you like the people who fail and continue on are the people who I'm closest with. They're the people who are going to really work to get through those hard spots, and those are the people that are going to become the best coaches. So sorry, I didn't want to leave off without answering that, because I think that's really important.
You're a gentleman.
All right,
guys. This call will be posted in the team page after tonight. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Rob, thank you again. Go send Rob some love, and you guys have an amazing night. Talk to you guys soon. See you next week.
Bye, guys.